Sikinya kakasiza Nkwacho festival ekine kwa Wankulukuku mukisawe kumutwalo kumu anjale abayimbi bonna bajja kubeera emipira wakati bawagizi bafangone n'abayimbi kwagala ba tiktokers ne babloga siteegi zigenda kubeera bbiri fe tukuba mu bbali okuva ku makya abakabonde kejenje ejibiji za fangone z'empaka zigenda kutolotoka kati kona ku munno mugambe asatu mu Desemba Wankulukuku mukisawe mu Nkwacho festival.
The moment with Tess, live on TikTok.
Tuliawo ati abanyiiga munyiige. Oluzungu ki?
No wa mama wange.
Obuki?
Omuzungu naye akumanyi aya dash and live TikTok.
Yes, muzungu naye antegedde nti awo leero wendi.
Kati ow'empuku omujeewa.
Ow'empuku simanyi gy'avudde oba wamatuseewa naye.
Wa mama wange.
Ogenda vaayo ddeyo wansi. Maama wo siwe wano. Genda ewa nnyina. Gira abeera ewa nnyina. Nnyina wano si yafugawo.
Ggwe amateeka nga mangi.
Amateeka mangi. Agira abeera eyo.
Eyo t-shirt ya checked nga sigitegedde. Yoyogeddeko.
T-shirt ya checked.
Kati wemyutinze kati ate oyogere nange. Gwe sinika.
Naye nga mu Italian skin. Anyongera obajjukiza tuli wano we tuli wano.
The moment with Tess, live on TikTok.
Lowooza otegedde awo we tuli awo. Awo. Agamba atya Agnes Kataza. Obadde obuze. Kansuubire nti buli kimu kiri bulungi. Kansooke mbatwaleko just mu vibe katono nnyo wano just. Limba desho olimba.
DJ Zion.
Katugira tukuba obuyimba nga bwe tuwoomingamu. Oba waggulu tugenda just kubeerayo. Kumande ngenda baleetera Sparks babi, mbaleetera Dictator Maka n'abalala bangi.
DJ Zion.
DJ Zion.
everything is for you. Young cooler baby, Tabula and I am for you. Topology.
Deshi kyogamba kuli mweweddemu amanda.
Agamba cha selector zone Uncle Samu oza nkomyewo mu video olwaleero nina Liam Voice byonna tugenda byogera byonna tugenda binyumya tugenda nyumya strictly music business n'abagambye omuntu yekka gw'olina okwesiga ku graphics babayita ba skills media ensonga zonna ezekwekusa ku graphics.
DJ Zion. This is the Street Mad mixtape playing you the best of East African hip-hop and dancehall with DJ Zion.
Selector Reason oba commanding ojje right kanjongeze right kanjongeze kati muyinza okwerabira nti tuli wano.
The Moment with Dash, live on TikTok.
Telikulanga kulala kimazo kakasiwa Nkwacho festival ngine tuyingiza nkome birabli wena ngasatu mu December Wankulukuku mukisawe Yensikinya kakasiza Nkwacho festival ngine kwa Wankulukuku mukisawe kumutwalo kumu anjalesa abayimbi bonna wachakuwela emipira wakati bawagizi bafangone n'abayimbi kwagala ba tiktokers ne babloga siteji zigenda kuwela mbiri fetukuba mubali okuva kumacha bakaboneke jenje ijibiji za fangone zempaka zigenda kutolotoka katikona kumuno mugambe hasani mu December Wankulukuku mukisawe Nkwacho festival inabitigikidwa ema promotions
DJ Zion representing for your boy Zudan. Yeah man, big up yourself, brother. Too much fun.
The Moment with Dash, live on TikTok.
olwaleero nina Liam Voice boy Polo. Kankolemu bwenti katono tuli wano.
The Moment with Dash, live on TikTok.
Ono ye King Saha Alikuwa Afrikana na munana December musoyo mwaka jatumye ebiserebyo Ukina shinje mtwale bilitete mtwale tano emezi ya milioni 3 na mwenda December mkono Colin Hotel 10 December Masaka Maria Flow 15 December luka ya Nana Gardens kuna mkaga December lyantonda mu kisaawe 17 December Mbarara University in mwana mulezi King Saha aine eddoboozi litupanga amasanyalaze buli ano abakyala kubagala biri wakutoka sendongo hit nembwa yasigama ennyama kale musaleko hotel africana nga 8 December Baby Promax. Zatampa for tank iPhone 15 nerento waka kadetana changamba. Ebyana bintu twako out on keke chupa yenkoko. Lwaki Uganda kombucha drink Junction Mall. God Base Entertainment. Stream Life Avenue. Eurofam. BBS Telefina. Chabasa Fama. Wolo ne bitegekebwa. Yes, Sinke Events. The Moment with Dash. Live on TikTok. The Moment with Dash, live on TikTok.
Agamba cha eri Java Uganda.
Agenda kwali kufa munange chikanga banga chajule wange kwe ali munange imbeho mchanga sina suka chiba chigambo mutalileta nyo kuna baganga tewali akuta
Tuli wano we tuli wano.
The Moment with Dash, live on TikTok.
We tuli awo.
Ibu yagala musumbo bomunyiga nja kuchikola baby mazo kuyiga mutima gwange gumata buyimba bwenyimba uli kumacha mutima gwange gumata mutima gwange gumata wali yani kagala gumata mutima gwange gumata wali yani kagala gumata
How are you doing, pretty mom? Agamba cha Dr. Julius Payton. Agamba cha beautiful reader. Kansubire nti muli bulungi. Kana akayimba nkaweereza bonna abali mu mukwano mwenna Bamaliya omukulu Kasiri Adam Kadi n'atuuka ayingirawo nga kimyanso. Kasiri embadde njagala okujjukiza nti wano we tuli wano.
The Moment with Dash, live on TikTok.
Tebalina kye batugamba. Maximum respect, Dr. Chelsea Payton. Nati ogambye nkutumire mu luzungu.
Is the Street Mad mixtape playing you the best of East African hip hop and dancehall with
Shout outs to Dr. Julius Payton. Shout outs to Golden Flower. Shout outs to Chris Walusimbi, the first Muganda in Dubai. Shout outs to Jenny K. Special shout outs to the beautiful reader. Moderator wange. Kasiri.
Yo.
Mbadde njagala Kasiri
Manyi nti tuli wano.
Mulungu eddakiika 3.
Akole ki?
Awe submission mu luzungu eddakiika nga 3.
Eddakiika 3.
Ng'awa submission kuki?
Mu luzungu atandikirawo. How are you?
The Moment with Dash, live on TikTok.
Oluzungu lwange engeri gye
Olaba n'omuzungu akumanyidde. Towulira n'omuzungu amumanyi. Live on TikTok with Dash.
Aha. Kale tugende
Ayogera Oluganda.
Gwe interview mu luzungu. Interview atadduse.
Ani akuwa interview nze oba Dish?
Igwe
gwe
kenyini.
asabye oluzungu.
Okay. Hello, Mr. Kasiria.
Hello, how are you?
Can you introduce yourself?
I'm Kasiri Adam Kad from Uganda. I'm an art and entertainment analyst, but I focus more on the business side of art and entertainment.
Dakika 3 ziweddeyo. Talk
Kati
about
kati tu.
yourself in 3 minutes. Talk about yourself in 3 minutes.
I don't need 3 minutes to talk about myself. I'm a very brief person. Kasiri Adam Kad, art and entertainment analyst, but I focus more on business. So you can consult me on whatever that concerns the business of art and entertainment.
Jennifer owulira oluzungu. That's Kasiria of Uganda, who's more specialized in art and design. Let me ask you, what have you added in the industry?
What I've added in the industry? The most important thing is information. Most of the times people skip it, but information is power. When you have information, when you are equipped with the right information, everything you want to try or do can work on. So we take our time to read, study, research, benchmark other industries, and then we come and share that knowledge for free. We have been sharing that knowledge for free for quite a long time, until we reached a time of looking at ourselves as the solution. For example, I was reading one time in America. They showed a list of artists who are rich, and those who are more rich than the others, and those who are wealthy. But this is how the list was going. From the bottom, they showed artists who depend on the streams and the music. Those were rich. Then we went to another level of the artists who depend on music, endorsements, and other things. And then there was a level of artists who depend on music, endorsements, and also partnerships in other businesses. And then we went to the level of artists who have used their brands to start their businesses. So when we looked at that, we came to a conclusion that this microphone can give you the name, can give you the connections, but will not give you enough money. So you have to use what it has given you to start positioning yourself for better. For example, you can use what it has given you to get endorsements. You can use what it has given you to create partnerships. You can use what it has given you to create businesses around it. We started preaching it to different artists, but they were not picking the concept. So when I started building my brand as a person, I looked at merchandising as one of the things I was telling artists to do, and they were not doing it. So I started demonstrating it by starting a street fashion brand, Zinja Tuvaye. Those of you who watch my content, you see me putting on that stuff. I am putting it on because I want to start a company, but this company has to be an inspiration to others that you can use your name to start a brand. If a person like me, with my status, I can sell my merchandise, then what about a person like Eddie Kenzo or Fik Fameka decided to start a fashion brand? It does not only stop with a fashion brand. Imagine if a person like Sheila Gashumba, who influences hotels, restaurants, and bars, also started a restaurant. One would say that she doesn't have the money. But if you want to become rich, there are 3 methods you have to use. There is OPM, other people's money. There is OPR, other people's relationships, and OPT, other people's time. We can start with OPM, other people's money. For example, Sheila is known to be influencing restaurants and bars for money. That means that she's paid to influence, and when she influences, people come. That builds the trust, for example. Now, with the name you have as Sheila Gashumba, you can find Dr. Julius as your friend. Dr. Julius may be having the money, and you have the influence over the people. So you can pitch Dr. Julius to come in a partnership with you, whereby he builds a restaurant, and then you work on the branding and marketing decide to pull people to come to this restaurant. What would be different this time is it is not going to be just a business you are doing as an influencer, but it is a long-term business. You are going to be getting a penny every time something is sold in that restaurant. You understand? So you look at your brand, what they talk about you, and in which lane have you built your brand, and then you start other brands that correspond. So when you do that, you put yourself you put yourself in a position of a business owner, not just a business influencer. That means even in times when you cannot run that business and you have to rely on other influencers, then you will be a boss paying the influencers of that generation. So that gives you that starts your journey to creating serious wealth. So it will all be centering on the brand you built and the information you used to see your power. Another example of OPR, other people's relationships, you may have Dr. Julius as your friend, but still Dr. Julius doesn't have that money. But Dr. Julius may have Dash as a friend. So that means you are going to use the OPR model. In this case, Dr. Julius is going to help you convince Dash because he's a friend to Dash. And the last one is OPT, other people's time. When you have access to money, when you have access to the market, then what you need is more time. And how do you acquire more time? You are going to hire a Wanu Kasiria to become your public relations officer. That means if Kasiria is working for you for 12 hours, you have scooped 12 hours from Kasiria and added it on you because he's going to spend those 12 hours building your brand. You understand? So those are the kind of things we are trying to show the artists, and we have decided to take a route of telling them what is the solution and also practicing, because most of the time people have been telling them, but these things have not been practiced. And another thing is, like we tell artists most of the time, like we have a population of 45 millions, but we have a problem of our digital infrastructure not being good. But that means we can start thinking East Africa, because most of other countries in East Africa have a better digital infrastructure. For example, last time we went to benchmark in Kenya. I'm planning to go and benchmark in Rwanda. I'm planning to go and benchmark in Tanzania, just to start building an audience that goes beyond home, since these people already have a better digital infrastructure, but also admire and love our art. That means we can also be selling it there. So that is what we are doing. We are doing we are sharing information because we want to shape this industry and go into the right direction. But the most important thing, or what we are doing different from other people who have been sharing information, we are putting ourselves in the harm's way of doing the practicals as well.
All right, you've given a good submission, and this is the first time we and aired in the submissions. The reason as to why I decided to interject in kind of stuff that you bring it in the English so that we can capture a different audience other than just only the Luganda people. So, but waliwo abuzizambo abooluganda bagengewa Jenny, but mixing Luganda and English so that we can reach a better, a bigger audience. Thanks, Mr. Kasitie. Please don't follow me because I followed you. But what I'm talking about is like what you're bringing out is really good. Though my next question will be mix Luganda and English. We are having Liam Voice, who's coming on board as the host. I'm not as the whatever. I don't know. I'm not the host, but what can we bring on board, and how better we can have the music industry bring it up other people to have the ideologies which you're having, like you brought it up, like issues to do with the branding and having your own marketing industry to do with your designs and what. So how better can we have the artists coming on board and also advising the people who are following the same trend?
Like the most important thing when you are building a brand, first of all, what is a brand? People mess that up a lot. Brand is what they talk about you. It is simple as that. What do people talk about you? If they said Julius Payton, what would people say after that? Would they say he's a doctor? Would they say he's a mufere? What would they say? So brand is simply what they talk about you. So in that, then branding is the process of building the what, the how, the why, and the where you would wish to be talked about. The what do you want to be talked about? Why would you want to be talked about? How would you want to be talked about? And then where would you want to be talked about? That's where we go to brand positioning. You are an artist, for example, you are Kenneth Mugabe. You understand that the people of Owino may not understand you better, but the people of Serena will understand you better. How do you position yourself in that position so that those people can see you and appreciate you for your work and then later pay you? You understand? So when you understand that, then you can know better how to position yourself. One of the things you have to ask yourself when you want to start creating a brand is, where is the attention? Because when you are building a brand, attention is the most valuable asset. So when you understand where is the attention, for example, today the attention is also on social media, and I normally tell people that social media is free attention. Someone comes up with an argument, I buy my data, I buy my phone, and I ask him, do you know that you can put a post on social media and get the same result someone who put a billboard on the road gets? But can you tell me how much do you spend on a social media post and how much would someone spend on a billboard on the road? If they tell you the prices, then you tell them, that is why I say social media is free attention. So whoever wants to go far, you have to understand how to use the internet. Because now the world is a global village because of the internet usage. I would like to interject just English. A little bit. First, okay.
On social media, you've been talking about social media and billboards. You know, social media has analytics and you can easily know how many people have gone ahead to really get to know your product you've been advertising. But for billboards, no one can count those number of eyes that really look at the billboards. That's what I wanted to obviously interject in a little bit. Continue.
Yes, thank you. So social media gives you direct statistics. So when you post, you can monitor 24 hours later, you can monitor and see the results. So after understanding that social media has attention, then you have to learn the culture. All these platforms have different cultures. That's why you may find someone big on Facebook finding it hard to be big on TikTok. Why? When you are big on Facebook, you build an ideology that it is automatic when you come to TikTok, you also be big. But there are different dynamics that may make you big on Facebook that may not make you big on Instagram or TikTok. So when you understand that and you understand how these platforms work, you understand how you can run ads, you understand how better you can post, you understand the time you can post, then you can push your brand further and make more money out of it. So we are very fortunate that we are in a generation where there is the internet and it is dominating. Yet marketing on it is very cheap. So in this generation, becoming a millionaire, it is more easy than it has ever been. I'll give you an example. Think of years back when our fathers wanted to, for example, to do trade in China. You had to go ask for a visa, buy a ticket, sit on a plane for days and go to China. But today, I can do business with a Chinese without getting out of my room. I go on Alibaba, check on the products I want, check on the prices, check on the companies, pay, and they ship my products. My products will reach in that seat where I'm sitting just now because someone can bring it and deliver it on my doorway. So that means there is a few excuses we can give. Same applies to art. If you are doing art, you have to understand you are in a better position to sell your art across the board sitting in your sitting room. You just have to understand the dynamics of these platforms, how they work, and where or how far you want to go. Then you can market with proper intentions. Your work can go across the board. But by just one thing, understanding how the internet works.
Oh, thanks for the submission and all what you've said. You makes a contribution to all the people who are hearing. And I see Desh Karisha. I'm not the host, but it was just an interlude to the music people, and then we have the new person who will be coming on board, and I'm so privileged kubeera nga actuatinze o ideologies z'oleese, then wabeera nga omukulu tanaba kujja, nyinza okubeera nga mbuuza ekibuuzo. How can we push the brand of Desh Kalisa right now, who's on us, and what advice will you give him?
First of
The
all,
Moment with Desh, live on TikTok.
First of all, he has to be giving him money every day, because when I have money, I put firewood in the byoto and the judges will bless the brand. You understand? But on a serious
Kasiye, you lie down for 5. That was a by the way.
But on a serious note, Desh Karisa is pushing in the right direction. You know, we can do a lot of things, but there are two major key points we need to do. Desh Karisa, people are complaining they are not seeing the comments well because of your outfit. And I'm also experiencing the same. But back to Dr. Payton, Desh Karisa is already doing the right thing. I remember when before Desh Karisa started this radio, we were just talking about it. We could go after the night radio on CBS. We move around that Mango Street just talking about it. It was in theory. And later on, the guy put it in practical. And then he got the commitment to start, because that is very important. And then after starting, you have to have the courage to be consistent. He started, he had the commitment to start, and he has been consistent, and he is moving on. All we are seeing today, why we are here today, is because of the consistency this guy has shown. So if he stays consistent like this, putting out shows on a daily, making sure he cuts the short clips and posts them, improving his equipment, improving his studio, improving his ways of interviewing, reading more about how the internet works, when is the right time he must post. There is a lot that goes in, but for now, I wouldn't suggest anything that would rush Desh. I would want us to appreciate him for the consistency he's putting in, and we leave him just there. What we can do is contributing on improving the equipment, improving the studio, helping here and there. We have some people like Lokan here. We can also be convincing other more bigger guests to come on the platform. Like for today, if you have to William Voice, tomorrow you have Case, the other days you have the Selector Williams, the other days you have James Proper. It builds trust, because those people have built their brands and they have trust. So when they come to your platform, they also give you part of their trust, because people who trust them will also start trusting you. So that is putting the step in the right direction. So for now, Desh is putting the step in the right direction. We just have to encourage him to stay consistent and keep watching his progress. Because as I finalize on this, there is one thing I'm going to tell you, Doctor. You can never beat the value of time. You are a doctor today because of the time you put in. You are where you are today because of the time you put in it. Trust me, someone new coming into the industry may think that you have not done enough. But if they are experienced with the same, they will appreciate the process and time. So you can never beat the value of time. We have to let him grow through the process and time, and we keep encouraging him to come and also help him improve the equipment. So if that goes on consistently, in the next 2 years, we'll be seeing a very different Dash and in a very different station.
Hasidia, let me also add something there. I told Desh one time when I called him, I told him that all what we need to do is simple. I don't want him to multitask a lot, because if at all you're running a platform like he runs, you cannot cut across all social media platforms at once. So it's better to first concentrate on one, such that it hits the milestone where you want it to be, and then you try to obviously spread, Because last time I had a friend of mine who even contacted me and told me, hey, Rokani, I had you on Desh's show when you guys were arguing the case about blah, 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 blah. And I said, all right, now people can easily screen record and obviously extend that information. But I told him one thing that is obviously going to push him better is the now playing stuff on X. Like when he's playing music, he should post on X, like now playing so and so. For example, now playing Yatapita by Diamond Platnumz on A Moment with Desh. Then he puts his link of the TikTok account, such that this artist will repost. Way back we used to call it retweet, but that artist will repost, because I know artists that will repost a lot. So in the due course, when you tweet or post on X, you'll obviously get to know that such and such an artist reposts my tweets. Now just imagine if at all an artist who has like 400 followers on X retweets Dash. That means people are going to come in through to follow that TikTok link, and then they come to what? To your TikTok account, and then they follow you up, because the artist has shared your now playing tweet or post to his fan base. And what Dash has to continue doing is that he has to play more music of those artists that repost him, that share his tweet or X on their platforms. You get?
Yeah,
so
that
is something I think that can work out for him. And I told him that he should be doing it a lot, especially during the countdown, like you said, now playing number 10. It's called, what's that song of Lydia Jasmine? Njagala, it's called what? Njagala ngabe ne yagala. Deshivaluita wano libola Jasmine. Njagala ngabe ne yagala. Kuba Jasmine is good at retweeting. Now playing Njagala by Lydia Jasmine on countdown yobaji at Desh, I don't know. Then natekako ne link ya TikTok account ye. You get? Such that people can, when the artist shares it, Dash can easily get followers from that artist. I think that can also work well out for him, because I see that is the easiest for him to do. Simanchemanya wale ina laptop, ina what, so he can easily try to do that shit. And then he'll become a better guy. But I'm very happy with what he's doing, because Nzeche Nazula in all this life is that you cannot go where you are when you are not consistent. Baby steps first, then slowly by slowly you'll get there. So I think Dash is doing a good job. And some people think that when they see numbers here viewing 13 people viewing only, they believe that they are the only ones watching. But there are very many others that are really watching for you, and other people are already screen recording, others are sharing in. And let me tell you the fact, TikTok won't get you the real count of the number that is really watching. It's not like YouTube, For YouTube, if at all there is 100,000 people watching in, there will be 100. But that's why you see when you end a video, you might end this live when the number up has been like 20 or 30. By the end of it all, when you end the live, they'll show you that you've been viewed by 2,000 people. But in actual sense, how can you be having 13 people showing up as the ones watching in live, and then you end the video when you're having close to 2,000, 3,000 people watching in? So for me, I think he's really on the right track and is doing the right job, according to me. So that's what I have to say about that.
Thank
All
you
right.
so much.
Sorry, Desh nsonyiwa okubeera nga ndese kubeera nga conversation ebaddewo eyinza okubeera nga ekutwalidde time kubeera nga you always have music interlude, but issue is all about how we better each other. Mwami Kasiri agenze n'agamba mbu I'm a doctor because of time. No, I'm not. By professional, I have a doctorate, but I like bettering people, friends of mine, and I always try to support them. Nembeera nga mbeerawo babeererawo, so meaning that njagala nnyo okubeera nga we better each other. How much we are in different professions, but it's all about ani scratch my back, I scratch yours. So Mukulu Kasiri, I'm not here. I'm not a doctor because it's time, but I like your submissions zonna z'okoze ne Mukulu the Ugandan. Yeah, they are really cool, and I
Doctor,
like the way you support everyone,
doctor,
right?
there is something I'd forgotten to tell Desh. Because Desh plays music, there is a certificate that he has to pay for on YouTube. I think you'll talk to James Pop, and he knows a lot about that. He can connect with those people. I think every year you pay $300. But if at all you pay that amount of money, you can live stream on YouTube and play any song that you want. So if at all you can be live streaming like on 2 platforms at the same time, streaming on TikTok and at the same time streaming on YouTube at the same time, that can really work out well for us. So Desh will have to contact James Proper, and James Proper will tell him how to get that music certificate. You pay it every year, I think $300, and you can be streaming on TikTok at the same time you're streaming on YouTube, because even YouTube has more people, and they've already gone ahead to build audience there. And there are people that have big YouTube channels like me. I can easily share your YouTube video onto my community, and then more people will come in through and watch. I had forgotten that, but as the doctor was saying, was really bringing in his other points, I really had to remember about it. I said I have to come in and really interject a little bit.
Thank you so much.
I like that. That's the reason as why I was saying that how can we better the dish, or the dish maybe platform or whatever, over media what. So issue is like, it was like I just interjected numbi bulumbi Mr. Kasirye nga just discussion ebaddewo ninga ndaba etwalizaako time kubeera tufuna omugenyi olwaleero. Nze mbeerawo Ragdesh as my brother, my friend, as like I just bring on that, and nenkyusa ne kubeera nga ekibeerawo kibeera kya Luganda, fena tutwogera Oluganda, naye nga you can catch another audience kubeera nga okozesa Oluzungu. But I really appreciate you guys to this conversation gye tuyina. Dish onansonyi okubeera na tutte over host, but I like Kasirye contribution. Kasirye ne Mr. Uganda, that's well cool, and I like the advice zonna zemutaddewo kubeera nga bettering your brother. It's like scratch my back and I scratch yours.
Yeah, and what I appreciate this about this doctor is like the challenge. Most of the time, like I know a lot of I know a lot of analysts here in Uganda who can take bigger and better positions out there in the world, but the problem is most of the time we want to stick to the language we are used to. So most of the time when you challenge them, they can refuse, or I refuse to do what? To take on the challenge. Because, for example, Dr. Julius comes and speaks to you in English, and you know he knows Luganda, you are like, today worry. But when we start accepting these challenges, that means if you get an opportunity, you have been invited, for example, on Citizen, NTV Kenya, most of the platforms there where you have to use English, it would be better, and most of the time you might find there may be an English show in Uganda here that would like to host Kasirye, but because they have never heard him speak English, they are like, maybe he's like the others who never want to use that language at all. But when we start also sharing in such a language, first of all we get used, and also we get to show the world that we can also discuss issues in this language too. That broadens our playgrounds, and the more the playground broadens, the more the market broadens. I thank you so much for that challenge, and we can keep also taking on these challenges on different days. Like we can choose a day and we say that today we are submitting in English at least for 1 hour just to practice.
Custody and the importance of really submitting in English. A moment, doctor. Sometimes there are certain people who really want to hear English. One, why? Because the world doesn't speak Luganda, because if I told you to look at the population, the world has close to 7.7 billion people. But do we have close to even 100 million people who speak Luganda? I don't think so. But we have more people who speak Chinese, many people who speak English. So it's very easy to obviously cut across if at all you speak English. And when you look at all these applications, the bigger you go, the English language is being used all over these social media platforms. Because when you go to China, their social media platforms they use have gone ahead to fail to cross this side. Apart from TikTok, I think TikTok is their first app that has gone ahead to cut across. But they have very many applications because they don't have Facebook in their country. They don't have YouTube. They don't allow them that service. They have their own platforms. So I think TikTok has gone ahead to cut across. And why has it gone ahead to cut across? Because of the language it was built in. The AI being in English, I think that's going to have to make it better and better and better. So that's what I wanted to submit in there for you. So, Doctor, you can come in through.
My last submission was like, as a doc, just contributing to my bro, kuba mwagaliza birungi, mubeerawo bulungi, mubeerawo mwena, ne mu supportinga. People come, numbers is journeys is dropping, and the issue is all about getting a wider coverage, and then supporting a brother. It's a key to me. I will say that we are in different paths. Babera to mbera kubera platform bidi zoka eya wano ya kusumedia nganemba obudde ninyagamba fine, let me spare some time, then I'll listen to my brothers whatever they are doing,